Hello, Mike here from MikeOverlanding. This video is going to be about the Bedrack and the Coiling cover. If you've checked out some of my videos, you'll know that I've got a unboxing of these two. They came from the same place, Nut House Industries in Ohio, and I did an unboxing video and I also did an install video, so if you want to check those out, go right ahead. This video, I've owned these for just over 2 months now, and I thought it would be time to kind of do a walk around, show you the ins and outs of it and the reasons why I went with this Bedrack and Coiling cover combo. Now I'm going to break this video up into two. This is going to be part one. Part one is going to talk about the Bedrack, and then part two will go into the Coiling cover. I'm going to refer to my notes here to kind of make this video move a little quicker. I searched high and low for a Bedrack and tonneau cover combination, and based on my research I could not find any. There was another outfit out of Michigan that looked like it had a really good product. As of June, when I purchased this, their product was not ready to go. And so this from Nut House Industries was the only one on the market, and it obviously ended up going with it. I'm real happy with it. It is custom made. They do allow you to pick, and they will make the Bedrack to your specifications. For one is, I chose this height, and the reason I chose this height was because I knew I wanted to purchase a rooftop tent, and I knew I wanted a larger one that would need to go over the cab, and I needed to have this up higher. All kinds of things you can do. Check out their website and you can have it custom to your specifications. It is made of aluminum, so it's really light, and of course they've got a powder coating on here that really solid. So the main thing for me was I needed to have the combination, because I wanted to have my gear locked, dry. I wanted to make sure snow or dirt or sand, you're going down a dirt road and it all gets in everything. I didn't want that. I wanted it to be dry. I wanted it, this Coiling cover is made of aluminum as well, and like I said, they go together. They're custom. The Coiling cover was customized by Nut House so that it would fit with their Bedrack, and that is so huge. So it's strong. You know, as you can see, I can move the whole Jeep. Like I said before, I've only had it about 2 months, but I've done a lot in 2 months. Number one, this has been my daily drive, so this has been on ever since. I did take a trip from Minnesota through Iowa into Nebraska into Colorado. Stayed at a friend of a friend's for a couple days in Denver. We went up into the Rocky Mountains. We were on the Continental Divide. We took this up to over 14,000 feet on a Jeep trail. I'm going to do another video later that'll show those. I don't have that ready to go yet, but it performed wonderfully. There's no extra noise with this Bedrack on. I purchased the rooftop tent in Denver, so we drove to Denver, no issues, didn't feel tippy, center of gravity wasn't an issue. Put this on, same thing. I don't hear anything, I don't feel anything, I don't feel anything on rounding turns. Acceleration has been wonderful. You know, we're going up mountains, you know, highways, 80 plus miles an hour and uphill, and this thing handled it totally fine. The engine in here is totally fine. I had me, my son who's 19 years old, and we had this full of stuff. Full. We had a cooler, battery, we were full. The whole back seats were full. I never had a problem with acceleration, never had a problem with wind noise, nothing. This thing just performed wonderfully. So when I purchased this, one of the things was I needed to hold the rooftop tent. It needed to be able to hold an awning, and I've got another video on this awning if you want to look at it. It's a 270-degree awning. This thing worked fine. It poured rain on us, and it was nice to have a little shelter there. And again, this is made of aluminum. One of the concerns, winter, I live in a northern climate, and they do put salt on the roads, and they didn't want this to rust, so it's made of aluminum. The other thing that I wanted when I custom built it was I wanted to have access to the bed of my truck from the sides. So that's why I put these, let me see them, I've got roto packs in here. 2 of them, 1 on each side, and I purposely put them to the front. 2 reasons. One is it gives me more visibility out the back. It doesn't obstruct too much. A little bit, you can see them, but it's better there than back here. And I also wanted, again, like I said, access to the bed of the truck. And I'll show you an example. I just put these in here for this video, but I can reach around here real easily. This heavy's got my tools in it, and recovery gear, but I can get stuff out of here. Total access to it. Another thing is this isn't just for overlanding, it's my daily drive. I've helped my daughter move to an apartment, loaded up gear, we attached a U-Haul type trailer to it. It pulled no problem whatsoever. We'll haul lawn debris, we've got a weeping willow, and that thing sheds like no one's business. And just recently one of the main trunks broke off. We cut it up. I had 2 loads full here, but not a problem. But so to me, I needed the height. I needed the height so that I can use this to haul a multitude of things. I've got 2 Max Tracks, and we've secured them underneath, and I'll pull the camera over here and show you a better picture later. But I've pulled them underneath and attached them to the bottom of the bed rack. They don't obstruct the rear view whatsoever, and that was another key thing for me, is I wanted to be able to see out the rear view mirror, and this does that. But it's also, again later when I get into the coiling cover is so strong you can put stuff on top of that too, which I had to do on our recent trip. Again, weight, I did talk to the folks at Nut House Industries, and they think it's about 60 to 100 pounds on here. I didn't weigh it, I don't know for sure what that is. They do, at Nut House, they do contracts for military, and they talk about this being a military grade bed rack, and I am really, really happy with it. I did have them custom put these end cap things here so that I could put a awning on it, and you have to tell them whether you want an awning on the driver's side or the passenger side, and I wanted it over there, of course. But it's just been a solid piece of equipment. I'm really, really happy with it. Okay, as far as the performance goes, I would say excellent. This is, again, it's only been 2 months, but we did go on a long trip. I didn't finish the story, but after the Rocky Mountains, we went into Wyoming, and then Montana, through North Dakota, and back to Minnesota. So 80 plus miles an hour. In Wyoming, it was a dry spell, but we got there, it poured, and it poured really, really hard. I've got another video you can see where you can see it raining, and I had the awning up and the rooftop tent up on that. Rain's coming down real strong now. Awning's working well. And I could put some guy lines out here to help keep this sag so that the water doesn't build up. And then coming home, it poured like no one's business. This stayed dry. It was wonderful. I put everything in containers anyway. It's easier to kind of haul one thing out, get to it. But the bed stayed dry, and I think a lot of it had to do with the rooftop tent being up here, to be honest with you. So overall performance, this is excellent. Again, I've only had it for just over 2 months, but it has performed wonderfully. Again, I went up 14,000 feet in a mountain in Colorado, not an issue. 80 plus miles an hour, no wind noise, no tipping, center of gravity felt fine. Acceleration, not a problem. The engine, the Gladiator, is awesome. I have no complaints about that. I know a lot of people talk about Hemi engines and this and that. for what I did, it's no complaints. And then gas mileage. Again, I went to Colorado with this and the awning, and I did not notice any change in the gas mileage. I'm sure there was, but I didn't. Of course, the tonneau cover was on too, and maybe that helped. And then when we purchased the rooftop tent, I thought that would add more drag to it. You know, I'm not really seeing it. I mean, if it's tenths of a mile per hour, if anything, that I'm seeing. I'm sure logically there is something, but I can't quantify exactly what it is, but it is very, very minimal. Downside, I've struggled to find a downside. The only downside I could come up with is one, it is a little spendy. I didn't get any discounts. No one's paying me for any of this. I paid full price, but they are spendy. But again, like I said, what other choice do you have? There isn't many out there, number one, but number two, this is really quality and it's custom built. So you get it the way you want it. And then, so the price is a little bit high, and the other one is it's relatively permanent. I mean, I can take this off. If you look at my video where I installed it, you'll know what we went through to put it on, and it can come off and no issue, but it's not something you want to take on and off. So my plan is I will leave this on throughout the year. In the winter, if I plan is to go south where there's some warmer weather, so I may just leave this on for the winter, but if not, I can take this off. It does take two strong people, because it is relatively heavy, and I'm going to do a whole video on that, so I'll leave that for later. Just another plug for the customization. I mean, Nut House Industries has all kinds of things that you can put on here. They have these boxes that attach here, and that you can access from outside here. It wasn't something that worked for me. I did not want to block my vision, and I did need access to this. I didn't want to have to crawl in here to get something every time. So those boxes that you can have, great idea if you need them. It wasn't for me. They also have a metal shelf-like thing here where you can put your max tracks in, and you can lock them up. And but I didn't do that. I just strapped it in underneath here, and I say put a bit of money, and it's working fine. Let's see, what else can I tell you? They do make customized plates or brackets for the roto packs, so I did purchase those two, and I have a 2-gallon roto pack on either side, and they will also sell you the locking mechanism. I went with the locking mechanism on it. Now, I don't run with them full, but if I know I'm going to be in a situation, then I'll fill them up. But otherwise, it's easier just to leave them where they're at, and I leave them kind of empty. Perhaps this might be a better shot of the other plate. Not sure until I add it. Another thought is I do have 2 roto packs for water. They're the white ones, and the thought was, can I put them on the inside here if I needed to give me even more room inside the bed of my Gladiator here. So that's something I'm thinking about too. I want to show you this side panel here. Both the driver and the passenger are the same, but I have the ability to purchase and add on attachments here. I can put a box in here. I can't even remember what else they have. I think they've got a device for a propane tank, but I guess if we're going to go on a really long trip and I didn't mind crawling in, and I needed more to carry more things, then I would certainly use this space. Nice to know I have it. So that's it in a nutshell. Again, if you're interested in knowing more about the coiling cover, I'll be doing a video on that as well. I hope this was informative. Thank you. On the way to the park to film this episode, I went into my garage and found a little surprise. This little guy has been in our garage eating through plastic tubes and getting to the birdseed. And it's time he finds a different home, so this will be perfect for him out here in a nice park. Okay, here goes. Okay, this is the damage that was done by that little red squirrel to access bird seed.